Pro Football Focus just released their top 25 players under the age of 25, and no Buffalo Bill is on it. That is a concern for Bills Mafia because we have two first-round draft picks, Kaiir Elam and Gregory Rousseau, that are not on the list. Should we be concerned about them not being top-tier players in the NFL so far? But welcome to my channel here, Bills News Consolidated. We got to discuss it. Greg Rousseau, Kaiir Elam, and some other players on this team, high draft picks for the Buffalo Bills that really are not getting recognized. And we got to take a look at the stats, right? And I think one thing we need to take a look at here is Kaiir Elam. Kaiir Elam during the regular season struggled to even start the regular season. Pro Football Focus had him around a 57 overall grade, but the two playoff games that Kaiir Elam played in, he was rated 87.1 overall. He had an absolute excellent grade in the playoffs, Kaiir Elam. And if he had that grade during the regular season, he would have been the second highest rated cornerback in the NFL. So it goes to show you the potential of Kaiir Elam, being under the age of 25, being with Sean McDermott in this defense, being surrounded by talent. And then you look at a guy like Greg Rousseau, in addition to being surrounded by talent, has Von Miller on this defensive line. A lot of attention going to Von Miller. It's very, very interesting to see here. And statistically, with Greg Rousseau coming away with around the same snap count as Von Miller, and we all know Von Miller missed a lot of games due to tearing his ACL, and they both had the same amount of sacks. 8 sacks for Greg Rousseau, 8 sacks for Von Miller. I think that's great to see, but really being that the attention to Von Miller is there, being that the attention to Ed Oliver and other guys are on this defensive line, on this defensive end, they should be dominating. Guys like Greg Rousseau, Boogie Basham, Epenesa really should be dominating on a play-to-play basis. So why was it that Pro Football Focus does not have Kaiir Elam or Greg Rousseau being a top 25 under the age of 25 in the NFL? And you look at Kaiir Elam, and it's really because of his shaky play during the regular season. Really didn't have a high stat count or snap count during the regular season for Kaiir Elam there. But the amount of plays that he had and opportunities, I think he really did the most with. And I really believe they're just missing it. They're missing it. He didn't have a high enough snap count. There's just not enough out there for them to come to that conclusion. But I think he's flashed. I think him being literally almost 6'2" as a corner, 6'1.5", Kaiir Elam, having that length in the corner is absolutely crazy. And then speaking of length, Greg Rousseau, 6'6", crazy Tarzan defensive end on the edge there. And yeah, we expect a little bit more, but he's also done well, pretty well during the regular season. Even intercepting Patrick Mahomes, forced fumbles, sacks, doing a decent job. His rookie year, he had 4 sacks. Next year after that, 8 sacks. So we're seeing him improve, and he should definitely, we expect him to get double-digit sacks here in 2023, without a doubt. But when you look at the playoffs for Greg Rousseau, that's where his play drops off. He's played in 4 playoff games, but has only had 1 quarterback hit. So we need to step up in the playoffs. We need to play the best football that we're playing, be destructive, and have the biggest impact on the game in the playoffs. And then you look at this division in the AFC East, Tua getting the ball out quick, Aaron Rodgers getting the ball out quick, Mac Jones is pretty smart as a quarterback, getting the ball out quick. We need to affect these quarterbacks. In year 3 for Greg Rousseau is a big time opportunity for him to showcase his skills. And I know a lot of people jump down Ed Oliver's throat, wanting more out of Ed Oliver. Only really highest sack total he's ever had was 4 sacks, only 2.5 sacks last year. But it's so hard to get sacks in that interior position, and really not having necessarily all the talent in the world. Von Miller and Ed Oliver getting hurt at the beginning of the year last year, then he gets back to full health, and then Von Miller goes down. It was just a mess. My concern on this defensive line are the other 2 high draft picks on this team, AJ Epenesa and Boogie Basham. Especially Boogie Basham. it's very interesting to see 2 second-round draft picks, high draft picks for the Buffalo Bills, AJ Epenesa and Boogie Basham. It's very interesting to see that Boogie Basham had a higher snap count than AJ Epenesa. And Boogie Basham only had 2 sacks. AJ Epenesa had 4 more sacks than him. He came away with 6 sacks, 6.5 sacks, I believe, last year. So 4 more sacks than Boogie Basham, and he had less snaps. I mean, that's just absolutely incredible. So you really look at it, the concern here is really Boogie Basham. Second-round draft pick for the Buffalo Bills, drafted in the same year as Gregory Rousseau. Really a higher snap count than AJ Epenesa, too. I mean, guys, we got to get more out of Boogie Basham this year. And I think that is definitely a concern for Bills Mafia. But it's about being surrounded by talent, too. You know, and you look at this defense. Micah Hyde being back, Trey White being back, Jordan Poyer being back, Poona Ford being added, Taylor Rapp being added to this defense. You know, just so much talent on this defense. I think Pro Football Focus has too much of an analytical approach at times where they look at players on an individual basis, but they don't look at the situation that they're in, right? You look at a guy like Greg Rousseau, I mean, it's hard to say there's a better situation in the NFL, having Von Miller and this defensive line, Jordan Phillips, Shaq Lawson, Ed Oliver, I mean, just everyone. It's just insane what's going on here. Daquan Jones, too. I mean, there's some serious threats on this defensive line, as well as Kaiir Elam. I mean, look at Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Trey White, and you're plopped in there, and that back end of the defense is great. Even Matt Milano, Taron Johnson, I mean, you are in a great situation to succeed. And, you know, I really believe both of these guys, Greg Rousseau, Kaiir Elam, could make a really big impact for the Buffalo Bills in 2023, getting the recognition that they deserve. I really believe Pro Football Focus is snubbing both these players. The length, the possibility of both Kaiir Elam and Greg Rousseau here in 2023 is going to be absolutely huge. Absolutely huge. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I've been saying it. I know we got some Bison season is taking off here, kicking off. You guys can get $20 off using SeatGeek. Use the promo code BNC. Check the link down in the description, as well as Buffalo Fan Shop, brand new summer edition line of merch, all different t-shirts, different colors too. Rock out for this 2023 NFL season. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Get hyped up. Go Bills. Peace.